Welcome back, our dear viewers, and to shed more light on this issue, I'm delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Ramzy Khoury, a journalist from Jordan. Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Ramzy? Mr. Ramzy, can you hear me? Mr. Ramzy, can you hear me? Hello? Well, dear viewers, as we said, the Palestinian factions meeting in Cairo urged the UN Security Council to approve a temporary force for Gaza and pledge also to pursue national unity. The factions have thanked Egypt for hosting the talks which aim at turning the current ceasefire into comprehensive, lasting peace. And to shed more light on this issue, we are delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Ramzy Khoury, journalist from Jordan. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Basma.
Thank you so much for joining us on Nile TV International. And at the beginning, what are the primary objectives of the Cairo meeting and how do they align with the broad goals of Palestinian reconciliation?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question very well.
Yes,
the line is not very good.
Yes, sir. I am asking about the objectives of the Cairo meeting and how do they, how do they align with the broader goals of Palestinian reconciliation?
Now is the time to go into the second phase.
Yes.
And the second phase requires a decision made regarding the administration and regarding the security control on the actual land. Now, with the administration, the Palestinians obviously want to administer their own territories. They don't want a foreign administration running it. Without an agreement amongst the Palestinians, this is impossible. So this has become now an urgency and a priority. And therefore, the Palestinians really need to come with a national consensus on issues, at least in terms of what do the Palestinians want. Otherwise, if that doesn't happen, then all they will get is dictates. And these dictates, Israel has a say in it. So it is not just a dictate that is going to come from the allies of the Palestinian cause, such as the Arab states, but the dictates will come also from the other side. So it is vital now that there is one Palestinian voice, a voice that represents all Palestinians, but also a voice that has a clear ask. This is what we want, this is what we expect, and therefore the Palestinians are able to achieve their goals and they are well represented. This is basically what the goals are. What we have seen, Basma, in the past few days is a demonstration of the ability of the United States of America to reverse Israeli decisions. And if people were unconclusive regarding this issue, i.e. saying that, America has no ability to impose on Israel one way or another, it's not true. We saw America imposing on Israel in the past few days several things. Most importantly, a ceasefire. Israel broke the ceasefire, started attacks again, and the United States of America told them to stop. Israel was trying to move in a completely different direction by annexing the West Bank, and the United States of America said no. And this is extremely important right now, because if there is an American will for the ceasefire to continue, if there is an American will for a roadmap that would actually take us to a conclusion at the end of the day, then this is something that will definitely happen, because this is exactly how it is. America can actually dictate. So, on the other hand, the Palestinians have to have one voice, otherwise the dictate is going to also come.
Well, sir, how does the Egyptian sponsorship of the meeting reflect Cairo's role in regional diplomacy?
I'm sorry, Basma. I have to have the question again.
How does the Egyptian sponsorship of the meeting reflect Cairo's role in regional diplomacy?
Oh, the region the region is all for a two-state solution. The region is all for the Palestinians to run their own country and their own territory. The region is to ensure that the Palestinian people actually get aid, because what Israel did is they restricted the flow of aid. They actually stopped the flow of aid until America told them to stop it. And now, but it's still restricted. I mean, 100 trucks coming into Gaza is not going to feed the Palestinian people, or supply hospitals with medical needs that they need in order for them to be able to function. So, if it wasn't for the region, then the Palestinians are not going to have a back. And the region is the back of the Palestinians. Whether we are talking about the Egyptian government or the other Arab governments that understand the needs of the Palestinians and who support and fully support a total conclusion to the crisis, I think that is much more strategic than a ceasefire, because a ceasefire does not solve the problem. And the problem didn't start on the 7th of October. This is a problem that started in 1948, and the Arabs understand this, and the Arabs have a project in order to resolve the conflict, in order for us to be able to have regional peace. And therefore, yeah, absolutely, the Arabs are the back of the Palestinians, and the Arabs have a say. And by the way, for America to have such a turnaround, the Arabs played a major role at the United Nations with the Americans, with the meeting between Arab leaders and Trump, in order to influence America's position, and for Trump to say enough is enough. Okay, now we need this to stop. So without that kind of backing and without that kind of support, the Palestinians are there with a lone wolf who is going to consume them. They need the security, and they need the support, and they need the help, and they need the protection of the Arab states.
Well, also, what implications might the meeting have for the role of external factors such as the United States, the European Union, and also Arab states in supporting the Palestinian reconciliation and also state-building efforts?
The position of the European Union is much better today than it was. In terms of the pressure that has been put by the European streets on their governments, the people who are now in very strong support of the Palestinian issue, and who now understand the conflict very clearly in comparison to how it used to be before. All of this is an opportunity for the Palestinians today to come out and say this is not about a very small conflict that started on the 7th of October, that led to genocide and led to the devastation that we've seen in Gaza, for example, and by the way in the West Bank, not just Gaza. But it's about a resolution of the conflict in a strategic manner that makes sense. And this is where the opportunity is, because there is a shift in European policy, and we now see a shift in American policy. So, and the Arabs, there is no shift in Arab policy, because the Arabs have always supported the Palestinian issue in a positive manner. So we now have a new situation in which the Palestinians can actually achieve their goals maybe not in an immediate manner. Maybe there will not be an independent Palestinian state tomorrow, but this is an opportunity to start a roadmap towards a Palestinian state in the foreseen future. And this is an opportunity that the Palestinians should not miss.
Well, sir, from your point of view, what steps can be taken in order to guarantee that the outcome of the meeting is implemented effectively?
There are no guarantees. There have been meetings like this before, and we've seen them agree at the meeting, and then nothing is implemented afterwards. I think that the only guarantee is for pressure to continue in order to ensure that a unified position is going to be taken, and all Palestinian actions are going to stick to it. I'm saying there are no guarantees, but the possibility of it happening this time is huge. There is a difference between this agreement or these meetings and the meetings that were conducted before, either in China or in Russia or wherever. And the difference is that the Palestinians just went through a genocide. The Palestinians went through ethnic cleansing. Until today, Israel, by the way, controls 53% of Gaza. Israel needs to move all the way back to the borders before this conflict started. And so the Palestinians are united on the goals. They all agree in principle in terms of goals. What do they want? At the end of the day, they want their independence, they want this and that. But there are always the issue of who is going to be in control, what is my role, and how. These are nitty-gritty details. I think that the catastrophe that has happened in the past 2 years to the Palestinian people should be enough to unite them today, because there is a huge opportunity. And with all honesty, those who are going to, if they were Palestinian, and they are going to affect the opportunity negatively, or have the Palestinians miss the opportunity, those people are going to pay a very big price with the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people are going to blame them for the failure. Israel has been trying to sabotage the ceasefire, and Israel has been trying to ethnically cleanse the whole of Gaza. And if Israel had the choice, it would throw the Palestinians out of the West Bank and Gaza, and take the land and finish with it. So any Palestinian who plays a role in supporting Israel and its dreams today would be to blame. So there is a great opportunity for this to happen. Because it is happening in Egypt, there should be a greater possibility of the Egyptians and the other Arab brothers who are involved to be able to manage the situation better and make it all happen.
Well, Mr. Ramzy Khoury, a journalist from Jordan, I would like to thank you so much, sir, for your insight and for joining us over the phone on Nile TV International. And dear viewers, now back to our next report, which is the UN Health Agency pleaded for thousands of people in desperate need of medical care to be allowed to leave Gaza in what it said would be a game changer. The World Health Organization has supported the medical evacuation of nearly 7,800 patients out of the Gaza Strip since the war with Israel began 2 years ago, and estimates that there are 15,000 currently needed treatment outside the Palestinian territory. We have more details in the following report.
The UN's health agency pleaded for thousands of people in desperate need of medical care to be allowed to leave Gaza in what it said would be a game changer. The World Health Organization has supported the medical evacuation of nearly 7,800 patients out of the Gaza Strip since the war with Israel began 2 years ago, and estimates there are 15,000 people currently needing treatment outside the Palestinian territory. The WHO's representatives in the Palestinian territories called for all crossings out of Gaza into Israel and Egypt to be opened up during the ceasefire, not only for the entry of aid, but for medical evacuations too. At the current rate, he said, evacuating the 15,000 people needing treatment, including 4,000 children, would drag on for a decade or so. The WHO says more than 700 people have died waiting for medical evacuation since the war began. The UN Health Agency has called for more countries to step up and accept Gazan patients. While over 20 countries have taken patients, only a handful have done so in large numbers. WHO's representative said only a fraction of Gaza's health system remains in service. Just 14 out of 36 hospitals are even partially functional for a population topping 2 million.